The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. W's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by W, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. W's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. W Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. Time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Thursday morning. A great time, a great day, checking out, making sure that we got everything going everywhere where it needs to be. We got good audio, everything looks good, everything sounds good. As long as it's looking good and sounding good, that's all I care about. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, on Instagram. Now on Instagram. Forgot to press that button. I'll get better at this one of these days, y'all. Not today, but one of these days. I'll get better at this. And, of course, we are live over on Roku with National Streaming Sports. Shout-outs to our friends over at National Streaming Sports. Prim and Proper Sports Show was on yesterday along with everybody that was a part of the National Professional Sports Show. Bo was there. Keith was there. B. Strillo was there as well. So it was awesome to see that growing community and supporters of people that were out there over at the National Streaming Sports National Professional Sports Show and all the fun times that they got over there. I want to give a shout out to the Crooked Commish. I was a part of his show yesterday, the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. That was a fun time being a part of that show. We were talking about the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL draft, and all of that fun stuff. I already see here that my guy, Tommy Cananza, is tuned into the show saying, "What's up, Tip? What's up, Tommy? Hope that you were having a fun time, a fantastic day today." I saw that you were on yesterday being a part of the show that we did with the Crooked Commish. That was absolutely a fun time. His co-host, the Mouth from the Bay, is a San Francisco 49ers fan, and I actually got to have a conversation with him civilly. And I feel disgusted by myself that I was civil with a San Francisco 49ers fan. Every time I would see that shirt, it would just annoy me. The look of disgust, of those disgusting colors of that shirt. It was annoying having to watch a San Francisco 49ers fan be in the same room as I am. Or I guess the same show as I am. Nonetheless, We power through. We're having a good old time. Thank you to the Crooked Commish for inviting me, allowing me to be on the show. Obviously, you know, I'm a little different. And I always find it weird because people tend to think that I'm going to be like the annoying Cowboys fan, because I guess that's just what everyone is used to, right? Like the annoying Cowboys fan. I tend to think of myself as maybe the more pessimistic Dallas Cowboys fan. That's kind of what it seems like I've been over the last couple of weeks, as my Dallas Cowboys fandom continues to get questioned day in and day out. Okay. The NCAA has a problem, guys. And we all know for years that with the NCAA, it was always kind of one of those hidden things, right? It was always one of those, as long as it's in the back, as long as it's in the dark room, the dark areas where no one can talk about it, that's where it's going to be fine. And what I'm talking about is the fact that they're going out, they're paying players, they're doing all kinds of craziness, whatever it is that they may be doing. When it came down to the NCAA tournament, or not the NCAA tournament, but sports in the NCAA, especially football. Sonia Pearson saying, good morning to you, Sonia. Hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. I'm going to have to do like what you do. I always love and appreciate, I just don't have the people to help me share. Sonia saying she's sharing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Love the Carolina blue heart. One of my favorite hearts to see. Carolina blue is still one of my favorite colors, if not my absolute favorite color. We are live all over the place. All various social medias. I was thinking of going live on Twitch again. It's been a while since I've been live on Twitch. Not going to do that today, though. We'll see. We'll see how it goes with them. Nonetheless, the loud part, or the quiet part, is now being said out loud with the NCAA. And what I'm talking about is money, right? Like, we always knew there was these backroom deals, things like that were going on. Whenever we'd see players get suspended for silly little things, we'd always be like, oh, it's whatever, right? Like, that's a normal thing that happens in the NCAA. What was it, Boise State about a decade ago, having to give up so many scholarships because players were having dinner together in like upperclassmen locker rooms or something like that, or like in their apartments or whatever it was. All of that seems to be just stupid fodder for wanting to get upset about something, right? Like, there's always those people that want to get upset about something, and it feels like that's what the NCAA was having to navigate through up until very recently, up until 2020, 5 years ago, whenever all of this changed with the ability to get NIL. And with NIL came a lack of regulation from what was one of the biggest regulatory bodies in all of sports, which was the NCAA. The NCAA during COVID showed everyone that they have no power whatsoever. We don't care what you guys do. We can't stop you from playing games. If you want to play games, go ahead and play games. Zero regulations from what was the governing body. No idea how to deal with the pandemic. That's fine. No one knew how to deal with the pandemic. But whenever NIL came out and everyone was saying, okay, now these players can get paid for the name, image, and likeness, boosters' eyes lit up, knowing that they can just start paying people all kinds of crazy amounts of money in order to have them be a part of their favorite team, the team that they love and that they support, right? I said it from day one, whenever Texas was going to go to the SEC. Texas has deep pockets. Whenever you're recruiting against the other SEC schools, now you can say, do you want to go to Tuscaloosa or do you want to come over to Austin? Austin, an amazing city if you've never been to Austin. A fun city. I love me some Austin. Would you rather go to Gainesville, Florida, or would you rather come to Austin? Now it can be just so apparent what we're doing with the NCAA. Now it's just going to be an absolute money grab of, let me try to get the most talent that I possibly can in the dirtiest, ugliest possible way. And there's no regulation on it whatsoever. And I'm fine with it. Hey, yo, go get your money, right? You got such a small amount of time to capitalize on your bankroll that you got to make sure you get it as often as you can, as much as you can, maximizing who your talents are or what your talents are, who you are as an individual. Go get your money. The Cavender twins showing us that you can spend 5-6 years in college and still make a ton of money just being in college. You don't have to go to the WNBA. It doesn't work like that for all players. And the questions are going to come up is you have to be able to prove your value in this NIL world. And this whole conversation comes from, and I'm going to mess up his name, but Nico over at Tennessee, right? Nico over at Tennessee. I'm looking for the article that I had up a little bit earlier. Decides to leave Tennessee with talks of I want to get paid more, right? Like that's everything that was being brought up is I want to be paid more. I deserve to be paid more. And you know what? If that's your bag, go get your bag, my guy. I'm not going to hate on you for it. Go get your bag if you have the ability to get your bag. But he saw Carson Beck get paid, and he said, why can't I get paid? I took my team to the playoff, to the NCAA playoff. Sure, there was 12 teams. It was expanded, but you know what? I made it to the playoff. It's fine. I got us there, and all we have to do is try to get into the dance. Now, granted, we didn't do anything while we were there. We lost to Ohio State, who wound up winning the national championship eventually. But now that I see that this guy got paid, I feel like I should get paid more too. Despite the fact that you're already paying me $2 million to be here, despite the fact that I've made over $7 million in other NIL deals that are out there, it's time for me to leave. And I feel like this is going to be the budding example of what's going to change NIL and college football going forward. You have players that are getting greedy, and I'm with it. Again, go get your money. If you have the ability to get your money, go get your money. I ain't going to be one to hate on you because of that. But with that said, you also have to know what the consequences are going to be. Just flat out, what the consequences can be. And I feel like that's what surrounds a lot of these kids whenever it comes to NIL, is they're just getting bad advice from people. I equate it to AAU, like AAU basketball, right? You're being told all the time that you're special. And granted, you might be, but you're being told all the time that you're special. How many times have we seen one of the best basketball players, football players, whatever it may be in high school, not do anything in college? How many times have we seen some of the best college players we've ever seen not do anything in the NFL or the NBA? It's because it's a completely different game. It's a completely different animal. It swallows you up if you're not ready for it. And whenever you look at Nico Lavalea, or however the hell you say his name, Amalieva, there we go. Whenever you look at Nico and you see a 19-year-old kid who, yes, he took a team to the college football playoff. Awesome. Congrats to you. What you going to do next? And he says, I need to get paid. Shout out to the Huddle Sports Network. Good morning to you. Hope that you are having a fantastic day. We are live here on the Tipton Sports Broadcasting Network. We are all over the place. Also looking for different places to put the show out on. So if you got other places for me, let me know. Shout out to Roku and National Stream Sports for allowing me to do all this stuff on your platform. I really do appreciate it. But Nico Amaleva wanting to leave, wanting to go, because he says it's time to get paid. Augustine asking, is there a show tomorrow? I will do a show tomorrow. I know that you want to be a part of the Friday shows. You don't have to be a part of the Friday shows. I know it's Good Friday. I'm just going to do it because, again, this is my therapy session, guys. This is where I come to feel better about myself. That's a joke. I don't come here to feel better about myself, but it is nice to just be able to talk and BS here for a little bit. So yes, I will be doing a show tomorrow. I'm not expecting a ton of people to be tuned in. Augustine saying, yes, I want to. Awesome. I hope you save the link. If not, I'm going to have to send you another link. But it's all good. I got you, my guy. Yeah, no, tomorrow's going to be a fun time. And this is where it becomes interesting to me, right? You have a ton of sports or a ton of athletes. That's right. Tomorrow is the TIP VIP Friday. Going to share the link out there. You all got questions. I got answers. It might not be the answer you want to hear. You got sports takes. Let's hear them. I was thinking if we could come up with like a hot and cold sports take type thing. We can even do it on Fire and Ice. Give us your hottest sports take throughout the week. I'll come up with like an email or something like that y'all can talk into. Give me your videos, all that type of stuff. I'm trying to do a little bit of different things here to make it a little more fun, especially when we get Fire and Ice. Give me your hottest sports take or your coldest sports take. Brandon and I will talk about it, see which one is what. But sources told ESPN that Nico wanted at least $4 million from Tennessee because that's what he saw Carson Beck get, right? Carson Beck got $4 million. I want to get $4 million. Pay me my money, sucker. It's that simple. I need to get my money about it. And then it comes close that now he's being linked with possibly going to UCLA at nowhere near that amount of money. Nowhere near that amount of money that the Spire Sports Group from Tennessee would have given him. And you've got to think about that from that aspect of it, from that standpoint of it. You wanted to go out and show your ass and say, look, pay me some money. Pay me all the money you possibly can, guys. I need this money. Give me my money, right? Jerry Maguire, show me my money. I am with it. I am all about it. But whenever you bet on yourself, you better be ready to get some losses as well. And it turns out that UCLA, being the front runner for him, isn't even going to pay Nico anywhere near what Tennessee was paying him. So now he's going to get paid less. Why? And then why go to UCLA? Because now it's going to be harder for you to prove your value to it, because even though UCLA is in the Big Ten, it's still UCLA. When was the last time UCLA had any type of success in college football? Like genuine, actual success. When was the last time that you could look at UCLA and be like, that's the team. That's the one. They're not going to win the Big Ten. They'll be lucky if they're a fringe top 25 school, because that's what they always are. They might finish in the top 20. They'll more than likely be playing here in the Sun Bowl. We might be seeing Nico in the Sun Bowl. Actually, no, that was whenever they were. Well, I guess they still get – it's so super weird how all that works. I think we got 2 more years of the Sun Bowl being able to choose teams, a few teams, the ones that were in the Pac-12. I'll have to look into that. But why would you go over to UCLA if you were saying it was all about money? It was all about money. And then UCLA is going to pay you less. You make yourself look like a jerk, first off. Like, it's such a bad look to be that kid, right? Like, no. I had one good year. Pay me, sucker. Pay me now. It's such a bad look whenever they do that. Our guy B. Strilla saying good morning to you, B. Strilla. Hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. It's such a bad look that I think that what's going to happen now is that NIL is going to have some sort of regulations on it. And it should have had from the beginning. It's not like it crept up on the NCAA. It's not like the NCAA didn't know that they've been living in a world full of corruption over the last 100 years whenever it came down to making sure players were played or what type of players were played or paid, and et cetera, right? It was the dirty little secret that we all knew happened. We just didn't talk about it. Now it's out in the open. Now the ugliness is all right there. Sonia Pearson saying, good morning again. This money thing is really out of control. A bunch of entitled brats who happen to have athletic talent. And that's exactly what it is. Going back to what I said about AAU basketball, right? You're special. Everything about you is special. You're going to be the greatest of all time. Let me manipulate you as the adult in the room to make you, gas you up and make you feel like you're something that you're not. This is a business. Again, I hope I'm not breaking news to anybody here that sports is a business transaction. I say it all the time. You see this hat right here for the San Antonio Spurs? I buy this hat. They get some money out of it. You know what I get out of it? A effing hat. Nothing really to be happy about, just a hat. If I were to die in the stadium, the San Antonio Spurs might have a, you know what, let's have a moment of silence for Michael Tipton, who died in the stands. Now let's get back to the game. Like, it would be that simple, that easy, that quick. It's a one-way transaction. That's what sports are. It's all about money. At the end of the day, you can have all the feelings in the world that you want, but it's all about money at the end of the day. And if you start messing with teams and their money, you become extremely replaceable. For every Nico out there, there's another college quarterback or another high school quarterback that can come in and take your place. Look how easy it is for the machine to keep churning out athlete after athlete after athlete. They are in such a lucky position to be where they are, that they don't realize how lucky they are to be in that position. Nico was making around $10 million, not just from the University of Tennessee, where he was making $2 million, but from all the other NIL deals that he had associated with the University of Tennessee. Now you go over to UCLA, where you're going to be making less than $1 million from UCLA. So now you've already cut your earnings in more than just half. What are you going to get as far as NIL goes in UCLA? Because UCLA is not even the biggest school in LA. That's USC, especially when it comes to football. I don't think he's going to make the $10 million that he had. And it goes back to even the Cooper Flagg conversation that's been had a couple of times. Does Cooper Flagg come back, or does he go to the NBA? It would be a dumb idea for Cooper Flagg to come back. Leave that money on the table and risk whatever it may be. Oh, I get to spend one more year with my friends. F your friends. Your friends ain't going to make you that $12 million base salary that you would get out of the NBA. You're still going to get your NIL and endorsements. Why would you go back to Duke just for a chance to win a national championship and have the possibility of your draft stock falling? This is the highest it's ever going to be. It's all a business decision. Sonia Pearson saying these kids normally already come from silver spoon and mouth families. They're used to give me. That's really what it is, right? I think it's soccer, maybe professional football, or maybe high school football, things like that, where you really see the haves and the have-nots, right? Like that's the one where it's the most expensive. What does it cost to get your kid to play in these different leagues? Football based off of the amount of equipment, what you're able to do, all of those things like that. The more money you have, the more likely you are to be able to just get a leg up on the kids that don't have as much money as you. You can pay Max Preps and like all these other people X amount of money to put video of you out there doing all this and that. And that, to me, that's a different conversation for another day. But getting exposure. The amount of times that I've gotten messages on Twitter, especially early on Twitter, whenever I was working over at ESPN, from athletes here in El Paso, or athletes throughout Texas, or athletes throughout the United States. The amount of times that they would just be like, hey, can you put this video of me up on SportsCenter? You didn't even get a sack. Like, it can't even be a top 10 thing. Oh, man, can you put this video of me shooting a three? Okay, cool. You made a three-pointer. No one was in your face, and it was in the middle of like practice. Cool. Awesome. Good for you. But the gall, the audacity, because there had to be some adult out there to tell them, hey, send that message. Just send that message. Maybe something like that can happen. I'm one athlete here, and I wish I remembered his name because I would love to see what this kid was doing now. One athlete here in Texas. His first message to me was, how can you help me make it to the league? I'm like, my guy, I'm a radio producer at ESPN. I'm not a coach. I'm not any of this stuff. But how is that your introduction to me? How can you help me make it to the league? How can I use you? Is basically what he was asking me as a kid in high school, talking to a grown-ass adult, as though that was the type of conversation he can have because he was so empowered by people to actually be able to say that and send that message out there. It was disgusting to me. It still disgusts me. You can hear in my voice how offensive that is. I remember just like replying back to him saying, "There's nothing I can do. I'm not that guy. Nothing I can do." And he put blocked. And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm fine being blocked. You're just some kid anyway. You're probably not going to make it to the league." I assure you, he didn't, because if that was his mindset, you know how you can get to the league? By doing the work, man. Sonia Pearson saying Cooper is probably going to get his degree in absentia now. He loves his grandma. He's going to lean on her advice. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. Flatly. Got to take care of your family. You got to take care of your family. Augustine saying this is what happens when you put money in college football. Augustine, there's always been money in college football. It's always been there. It's always been there. It's just in our face now. The quiet part is being said out loud now because it's all the transaction. Now we get to really see the haves and the have-nots. Like I said, I really feel like there's going to wind up being a super conference between the Big Ten, the ACC, maybe the Big 12, whatever left of it, and the SEC. And they can. They can create their own conference because the NCAA has shown that they have zero power whatsoever. We're just a governing body in air quotes. That's really all they are. Why not have the best playing against the best, the money conferences playing against the money conferences, and then the mid-majors get to play for whatever the hell it is that they get to play for? The number 2 cup, whatever you want to call it. We're the 65th best team in the country, kind of like the NIL or the NIT, right? I feel like that's the way that this is going to go. If we keep just letting it be unregulated, there has to be some sort of regulation in order to keep this right now. Sonia saying kids with little finances coming in are more likely to be grateful and take something, anything. We actually see that in baseball a lot, right? Where you have these guys come in from like the Dominican Republic and their first contract they sign is like a 6-year, $40 million deal whenever everyone's like, oh man, you could have waited and probably got like $80 million. And their whole mindset is, I'm lucky to be here right now. Like I got $40 million. I can bring my family over here now. Right? Like it's that type of mindset of I came from nothing. Now I got something. I'm not going to be greedy about it. I can probably make another contract later on. Sonia Pearson tripping out about that story that I told. Mike the Dream Killer. You already know right now. Well, that's my mindset. 100% my mindset of maybe, just maybe, if you're good enough to make it to the league, you don't need to be exploiting people. Your business would speak for itself, right? The Cricket Commission saying there definitely needs to be some kind of cap, but you see there already kind of is, right? Like it's the air quotes thing. I think it's $21 million that each school can spend in their NIL collective. Like they have to have a collective NIL governing body for each school. So we can spend up to $21 million. Then the boosters come in and start adding different kinds of incentives and whatnot and all that other stuff that's going out over there. I'm telling you guys, something's got to change. The Cricket Commission, you hit the nail right on the head. I am just in time for Just the Tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
As always, Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at myhappynuts.com. Visit www.myhappynuts.com/Mike Tipton. Guys, eliminate the irritation, eliminate the gooch smells and duck butter and all that nastiness. Summertime is coming up. It's getting hot out there. It's getting swampy in here. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. They have the Happy Nuts Comfort Cream, the My Happy Nuts Comfort Cream. Make sure you are taking care of yourself, guys, for not just for you, but for the lady in your life or whoever it is that you're trying to impress. www.myhappynuts.com/Mike Tipton. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout to save on the product. I keep getting asked this all the time. Is this a real product? Yes, it's a real product. I have the bulber, making sure everything is nice and trimmed where it needs to be. Yes, that's what it's called, is the bulber. I got the comfort cream. I've got the anti-chafe stick. All of that stuff, guys. You got to take care of yourself, especially as it gets hotter and it gets swampier down there. You got to make sure you're taking care of the goods, not just for yourself, but for that special someone in your life. Okay. So yesterday on ESPN, I got to watch the NCAA. God, it's still in my head, the NCAA. I was watching the Dallas Mavericks as they beat the Sacramento Kings 120-106. The Miami Heat beating the Chicago Bulls 109-90. That gets us set up now for the next round matchups. And Tommy, I know yesterday I might have had a weird way of explaining this, so I'm going to do it right here. There we go. Look at that. That is the bracket. This image courtesy of our friends over at ESPN. You can look at it right now. The Dallas Mavericks beating the Kings. That means they're going to be taking on the Memphis Grizzlies for a chance to get clapped by the Oklahoma City Thunder. I said that as thunderclap, and the other one. Look at that double entendre. That's what I do best, baby. The Chicago Bulls fall into the Miami Heat. Both 10 seeds advance. The Miami Heat will be taking on the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks, who lost to the Orlando Magic just a couple of days ago. Trae Young getting kicked out of that game. Very immature look from our guy, Ice Trae. Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, Memphis. Both teams for a chance to take on the number one seed in their conference. If they do, if Miami or Atlanta wins, they get to face off with the Cleveland Cavaliers, more than likely taking an L. If the Mavericks win or the Grizzlies win, they get to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, more than likely catching an L. All it is prolonging the inevitable. The Magic get to take on the Celtics, probably catching an L. And then what is going to be one of the more interesting matchups here is the 2 versus 7 in the Western Conference. As you can see, the Houston Rockets taking on the Golden State Warriors. Our guy, Tommy Carranza, saying that he is shocked that the Mavs won last night. He's back. Let's go, Mavs. They won him back. Anthony Davis, 27 points, getting him back. That's all it took. Get me back in. Just when I thought I was out, you bring me back in. Absolutely love seeing that, Tommy. Glad to see. It's so hard, right? It's so hard. No matter how much your team pisses you off, you still want to come back. And I'm saying that with this hat on right now. As much as they may piss me off sometimes, I still love them. Even though they've been bad the last couple of years, even though they made trades, and it wasn't their fault, right? Victor Wembanyama getting the blood clot, issues like that happening with De'Aaron Fox and the finger surgery that he had to have. I'm looking forward to next year. But right now, my guy, Tommy Carranza, we're shocking the world, baby. Tip, we're beating Memphis, and then we're beating OKC. I'm with you on that. I am here for the chaos that causes. You know, all you need is one, and you got a guy with a championship pedigree. I really do like, and it might be hyperbolic. It might just be prisoner of the moment. I like Anthony Davis playing the 4. Whenever you have Gafford or Lively in the game with Dallas, it just gives them another dimension. You got a big team there. I can see them beating Memphis. Zach Edey is a defensive liability. We saw that against Golden State. Zach Edey, a completely defensive liability. You might be 7'5", but you don't have the lateral movement that Victor Wembanyama has. And there was one play with that in that Golden State game where Edey is guarding Steph. They get him on a switch, and he's guarding Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler passes it to Steph. Edey turns around. Steph passes it back over to Jimmy Butler. Edey turns around, but Jimmy Butler is already going to the hoop, and Edey was one of those guys that you see like just big for no reason, spinning around like I have no idea what the hell I'm doing out here, and they had him out on the perimeter the whole time. That's exactly what Dallas can do to beat Memphis and just making it as an 8 seed, right? Again, you guys already know my mindset here. I think that the LA Lakers are going to wind up losing in this first round matchup. I genuinely believe that the Lakers are going to wind up losing in the first round to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I like the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I think the Lakers are vastly overrated. Another matchup that I think is going to be fun would be the Clippers and the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are going to get knocked out of the first round here as well. But like I said, the one that I think is the most interesting matchup is the Houston Rockets taking on the Golden State Warriors, because you have a young athletic team in Houston, a team that is a ton of fun to watch, right? Like they don't have a genuine superstar on their team. They have 7 guys on the team that are averaging double digits, 1 guy that's averaging 20 a game. Everyone else is between 11 to 19, right? That's a very well-balanced team. And then I look at the Golden State Warriors, where you have playoff Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is a problem. It's super crazy and annoying that he can turn it on when he turns it on, turn it off when he turns it off. But think about this. There are 4 games that separate the Houston Rockets from the Golden State Warriors. That's how close the rest of this division was outside of Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, a 16-game lead on everybody. The Houston Rockets, the number 2 seed, 4 games separate them from the number 8 seed. 52 wins for the Houston Rockets, 48 wins for the Golden State Warriors, or for the Memphis Grizzlies, who are the 8 right now. If Dallas were to make it, then it would be a little bit more of a difference between 2 and 8, but 2 to 7, 4 games that separate you. The Houston Rockets are a young team, and I think that that's going to be detrimental to them. They don't have experience making deep runs into the playoffs. Our guy Tommy Kanata saying, I think Luka gets rid of the Wolves in 5. Man, everyone's with this 5-game thing with the Lakers. I don't get it. I want to see the Mavs versus the Lakers. What has to happen to see that? Let's go back to the bracket. What has to happen for us to get Mavs and Lakers? If I'm not mistaken, the Mavs would have to upset Oklahoma City. The Warriors... No, the Rockets would have to beat the Warriors. And then the Mavs would play against the Lakers if the Lakers beat the Timberwolves, I believe is the way that it would go. Because the Clippers beating the Nuggets would get the Clippers versus the Rockets. That's the frustrating thing about the NBA playoff bracket, is it does change based on seeding, right? So we'll have to see kind of how it plays out, but I think that could be a potential second-round matchup. You would need some magic there. A lot of magic to happen to help you out with this dream that you got going on there, Tommy. Sorry, y'all. Looking at a bunch of stuff here. Drawing sessions. My guy J-Train saying, what's up? What's up to you, J-Train? Hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. I haven't been able to look so much at the Instagram feed. I got to start being better at this, guys. Jesus. If I'm going to be all over the place, my guy J-Train, sorry I missed you, my buddy. Adrian Zamudio tuned in over there as well. The Ski Mask Jolie tuning in over there as well. Josh B. Lifton. Thank you all so much for everyone that tuned in over on Instagram. We're all over the place. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, Roku with National Streaming Sports, hoping that we are on Roku with National Streaming Sports. I know there was some problems connecting yesterday. I've got to get another TV in here so that way I can make sure that I'm always on Roku. The only thing is I don't like looking at myself, watching myself. It's kind of weird. I guess it's going to have to be something I got to get used to, right? Even here, you can see I'm not looking at the computer. I'm looking into the camera. Why? Because I'm a fucking professional. That's why. The Golden State Warriors, to me, have a real possibility of beating the Houston Rockets simply because experience. You have Klay Thompson, not Klay Thompson. Wow. You have Steph Curry and Draymond Green, a team that won the championship no more than 3 years ago, right? Like, we're talking about a team that has made deep runs in the playoffs, a championship pedigree team. Then just a couple of years ago, you had Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. We're not on Roku 24/7, but 24/7 Roku, the channel that they have on Roku, National Streaming Sports, they're streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They got a whole bunch of different shows all the time. Coast to Coast with my dude, Bo Crouch. Obviously, Prim and Proper Sports with Sonia Pearson. Keith Angle with TGI Sports. He's always on there as well. I think I'm the one that does the least, now that I think about it. Beastrilla, our guy, is on there at noon here in El Paso, 11 o'clock in Arizona Pacific time, all that good stuff. Tommy Cananza saying you need a producer, Mike. That way you can do your thing on camera. I'm trying, my guy. I am trying. Good morning to you, Adrian Zamudio. Tommy Cananza saying get yourself an intern. So I am looking into expanding, doing a couple of things like that, but that's obviously going to be money and stuff that has to go out for some other things. I have some ideas. I'm building a business proposal right now, so I'm going to take it to the Small Business Association. And the goal is to create at least 10 new jobs here in the city of El Paso, while also having room to grow to hopefully get about 50 new jobs in about 2 or 3 years. So it's just getting that business proposal and doing all that stuff up. I know it seems like I'm not a smart guy, guys. I'm really not. I am like Forrest Gump. I am not a smart man, but I do know what love is. And I have love for this business. That was so stupid. Jesus Christ. Nonetheless, I might not be a smart man, but I have love for this business, and I have a way of, because once again, my goal, guys, I'm 41 years old. I want to do this till I'm 50. Whenever I'm after 50, I want to make sure that I have that my legacy is that I've got a whole group of people behind me that can do this better than I can do this, that can do this longer than I can do this, because I decided I wanted to do this at 31 years old. This is my 10th year of doing it. So for me, it's leaving behind that legacy. I'm so proud of the 2 interns that I have right now. Ada and Diego, who are doing amazing things. They get to cover all kinds of events. I was able to help them out with getting them their media credentials and things like that, just trying to get them a foot in the door. But the next eventual step is the tipping point goes to about 2 hours. We have a lot more structure, a lot more commercials, things like that. Augustine Pimentel saying, I can introduce Layla Melendez. She can help. Hey, I'm down with that. Any way that we can get this going. Any way that we can get this going. Tommy Cananza saying, that's what's up. And that's the thing, right, is I'm trying to help. My whole thing is you got to live big with your dreams. I was so lucky to be able to pursue this stuff because I'm a disabled veteran that I get paid to breathe. As long as I'm doing this, I still get paid I get paid, right? But I understand how difficult it is because I saw so many people who are getting paid pennies for what they were worth in this media sphere give up on that dream. So for me, it's not. We're going to find a way to make this work and to have sustainable incomes for people so that way they can continue doing this. My guy, the Cricket Commission, don't go off the rails here, Mike. Don't go off the rails just yet. I'm trying. I'm trying not to. I get excited about this. I'm trying my best. I am trying my best to stay on track. The Cricket Commission, thank you for your service, Mike. Thank you for your recognition. I appreciate that so much. I'm also one of those weird veterans that I don't like asking for like military discounts. Everyone always has to remind me they have a military discount here. And apparently I look like a veteran. I don't know what a veteran looks like, but apparently it looks like this. Just broken and can't walk. The Golden State Warriors, though, I think that experience is going to help them against the Houston Rockets. I would not be surprised. I genuinely would not be surprised to see the Golden State Warriors make a deep run. I can see this team making it to the NBA Finals, and I can also see them getting bounced against Houston. It's just the old man game, right? It's me knowing that I've seen this team be really, really good for a long period of time and wanting to say maybe they have the ability. Maybe they have the ability to catch lightning in a bottle one more time. Right? To be the man, you got to beat the man. Steph Curry, the Golden State Warriors, they've been the dynasty. Think about that. We all thought it was going to be LeBron James and the Miami Heat. They wind up getting slapped around by these San Antonio Spurs. LeBron James takes his ball and goes home, has to have one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history to win a championship for Cleveland. And between Cleveland and LeBron going to LA, you had the Golden State Warriors dynasty winning 4 championships in that small period of time. And it looks like there's another chance that they can get this 5th. They finally have a guy that can slow the game down and get to the free throw line and be a really good free throw shooter in Jimmy Butler. The benefit of that, Boston is the number 2 seed, Tommy. They will be taking on the Orlando Magic. The Golden State Warriors in this scenario, in the playoffs, like it doesn't matter what happens in the regular season. You got to beat this team 4 times in a row or 4 times out of 7. You have to be able to put this team down. I don't see Houston having the ability to do that. I don't see a lot of these teams, like even the Lakers. I don't see the Lakers having the ability that they can get 1, they can get 2. I don't see them getting 4. And there could be, and maybe it's just me going off of, I've seen this team win before in the past. I've seen this team be good before in the past. I'm letting that kind of run the way that I think. But I did that with Tom Brady and the Patriots, and I did that with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Until that specter is dead and gone, you have to give them the respect they deserve. And if Houston, a young team, doesn't respect and doesn't play their best against this Golden State Warriors team, they will lose in the first round. It'll be a disappointing season for the Houston Rockets. Golden State has house money right now, right? Like they're the team that there's no pressure on. You look at Oklahoma City Thunder. You're the number 1 seed in this conference again. You've got to win. The Houston Rockets, you're the number 2 seed in this conference. You got to win. The LA Lakers, you made a trade for Luka Doncic. You better win. The Denver Nuggets, you just fired your head coach because you thought he was the issue. You better win. The LA Clippers, you're spending all this money on Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, and you got what could be the defensive player of the year. You got to win. Look at Golden State. Look at what they are. You guys have done a lot of winning already. I don't think you need to win anymore. You got Steph Curry, cool. You got Draymond Green, all right. Jimmy Butler, that was a good trade. Damn. That's the area that Golden State gets to live in right now. Zero pressure on them at all. At all. And that's a good place to be. Whenever you don't have any pressure on you at all. You don't have to worry about a damn thing. You just go in and play your game. an interesting factoid about the Boston Celtics being that number 2 seed as we bring back the bracket here once again, that bracket provided by ESPN, is that the Orlando Magic actually have a winning record against the Boston Celtics this year. The Orlando Magic were 2-1. Now, granted, it was only 3 games, but they were 2-1 against the Boston Celtics, a team that all of us said isn't getting the love and the respect that they deserve. A 61-win team, Boston Celtics, lost twice to the Orlando Magic. Now, granted, I don't think that that's going to happen again. I don't think Orlando's going to be able to win the series against Boston. Why? Because in a 1-game sample size, the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then, right? I'm taking that from White Man Can't Jump. The sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then. That dog's ass was the Orlando Magic. I'm trying to think of a scenario here where the Orlando Magic can beat the Boston Celtics. There's a 20-game separation between them where they stand in the Eastern Conference. The 7-seed Orlando Magic versus the 2-seed Boston Celtics. There's 20 games that separate them. Boston, we can say, is one of the best teams we've ever seen. They set a record this year, the most three-pointers made in a single season. This is a team that doesn't just live and die by the 3, they thrive by the 3. Orlando struggled a little bit against the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks clearly not as good as Boston is. I don't see this being a long series. I think I'd call a sweep here, but I'm always wary of calling a sweep, so I'm going to go with the gentleman's sweep of 5-game series between Boston and the Orlando Magic. In the East, I already said it. I think the Detroit Pistons are going to beat the New York Knicks. Not a whole lot of separation there between those two teams. Not enough for me to feel like one is incrementally better than the other. The 4-5 matchup, I think the Bucks are going to beat the Indiana Pacers. There's something about the Pacers. I like the Pacers. They play with a lot of pace. It's in the name. Why the hell not? They play with a lot of pace. But Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo, you got the Greek Freak with you. You got Brook Lopez, who's big, who can hit threes. You got Damian Lillard. Like you made a lot of moves to make this team a little better. I think the Bucks are going to win that series right there. Cleveland, obviously, it doesn't matter who wins between Miami and Atlanta. Cleveland is going to win that series. Oklahoma City, as much as I'd like to see the chaos, Tommy, I don't think I'm going to go with you on this one. I don't think the Mavs or the Grizzlies are going to beat Oklahoma City. They're the best team in that conference by far. The best team in the league by far. And I just don't think those two teams have the guns to hold a 7-game series with them. I already said I think the Clippers are going to beat the Nuggets. I said the Timberwolves are going to more than likely beat the Lakers. I said the Warriors are going to more than likely beat the Houston Rockets. I am going upset heavy here in the first round of the playoffs, and I don't like what I have become. I am not one of those people that's always picking upsets. But it just feels like when you look at these teams, you look at those brackets, it looks like there's always the possibility. There's always that possibility. Man, it's going to be interesting to see what happens as we move on here in the NBA playoffs. I believe tomorrow is the game between the game that determines the 8th seed in both conferences, and then Sunday is whenever we get our first round matchups in the NBA playoffs. I'm super excited for it. I know a ton of people out there are excited for it, even if they're not going to talk about it. I'm hoping, Tommy, for your sake, I'm hoping we get the chaos of watching the Dallas Mavericks go into Oklahoma City and get the upset. That would make me so happy. I just don't see it happening. What is there? 29 games of separation between the 1 and the 10 where Dallas is at right now. Between the 1 and the potential 8 seed. 29 games of separation. But you know what the Mavs have? They have a team that made it to the NBA Finals last year, and they have a guy that's won an NBA championship in Anthony Davis. So they do have some experience here that Oklahoma City doesn't have. How much value will that experience bring the Dallas Mavericks this upcoming season, this upcoming playoffs. They were last year too, and we beat them. Granted, that was with Luka. I'm just saying, there's always the possibility, right? There's always that possibility. The Dallas Mavericks have themselves a squad that has experience with it. They got Anthony Davis back healthy right now. What type of AD are you going to get here in the playoffs? I would like to see that run. I genuinely do. I think Anthony Davis gets a bad rap for being made out of glass. The dude's a champion. He's also a terrible mismatch for a lot of teams. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I want the upset. I'm craving the upset, Tommy. You know me. I'm an agent of chaos. I need my chaos. I just don't know if I believe that it's going to happen. All right, everybody, remember, on Thursday, next Thursday, a week from today, April 24th, we are going to be live over at Twin Peaks at the Fountains of Farah on the, I guess, central part of El Paso where the Fountains of Farah are. Twin Peaks, they're going to be gracious enough to host us so we can do an NFL draft watch party over there as well. We're going to go live. I want you all to come out, support your team. I've already know that I've got a couple of people that are going to be there. I want to get as many people as we can. I'm going to have giveaways that we're going to be giving away as well with the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. So come on out there. Have yourselves a good old time at Twin Peaks with me as we watch the NFL draft. We will be back tomorrow for that TIP VIP Friday. You got questions. I got answers. I'm going to put the link out there for you. You want to be a part of tomorrow's show, you can be a part of tomorrow's show, and we will see you all tomorrow. It's going to be a good Friday, and I'm going to make sure it's a great Friday. You all know there are hundreds of betting sites out there, but don't be fooled. Some sites are legal in some states only. Some sites pay in Bitcoin, and some sites have even been hacked. However, BetUS has been in business for over 30 years. They have future bets that are paying out in the thousands, and there's still time for you to bet on the Super Bowl, the National Championship, and even the NBA Championship. Just use the QR code right here, and it'll take you to the BetUS site. BetUS. Check it out and bet responsibly. Are you a fellow car guy? I have a 2008 Ford Mustang GT convertible, and nothing makes me happier in that car than when it's nice and clean. And you know who helps me get there? RevAutoCarCare.com. They help me get that pony looking as nice and shiny and ready for any of the car meetups that are all around the great city of El Paso. Spoil your car and go to RevAutoCarCare.com/Tipton and view all the inventory they have and find out what works for you to help make your ride shine. RevAutoCarCare.com/Tipton. Use promo code Tipton33 at checkout to save 15%.